Hi there, good noon and welcome to BYJU'S exam prep channel that is dedicated to your success as a B School aspirant, where we take care of your preparation for every exam that you write. So this is part 2 of our 100 most important VARC questions. And before I take you over to the questions, here is something for you to think over. So I believe that discipline is true freedom. Either you govern yourself or someone else will govern you. And at the same time, now that I'm getting older, I've become wiser. So I know that discipline is about delaying your gratification, but you should not always do that. So 70-80% of the times delay your gratification. Some 15-20% indulge in it. Live a little as well, unless the situation is absolutely critical and it demands utmost focus, utmost discipline at that point of time. So that's how I would expect you to live your life. Loads of discipline interspersed with these moments of pure indulgence as well. So do you have any questions for me? Is there anything that you want to ask? Is there anything that you want to talk about? If yes, then bring it my way and I will address it right now. Otherwise, here is a brief overview. We know that the tentative dates are 9th and 10th of March with the applications open till 6th of February. We know that we need to have 99.7 percentile and above, which corresponds to around 142 marks, but it can change. It all depends on the difficulty level of the exam. But if you are applying to Maharashtra CET in order to get into Jamnalal Bajaj, you're targeting those seats which are open for all India, then your score is going to be, then the target score is around 99.97 percentile. And to help you achieve these stiff targets, we have brought a dedicated crash course for Maharashtra CET. We have done it for the first time ever, but we have done it very well. So we give you 55 plus live classes that cater to all the new things that you would encounter in Maharashtra CET. Then Maharashtra CET also shares its syllabus with SNAP and NMAT, etc. So there were some sessions that we took for those, and the recordings of those relevant classes will be made available to you, apart from, of course, a ton of an entire library of foundation lectures for you to go through at leisure in case you are struggling with a particular topic. And I think no course can be complete without mocks. So there are 12 of them and exclusive dedicated Maharashtra CET practice. And all of it at a very reasonable price. If you want to know more, you can reach out to the team and we definitely help you. So let's go ahead and dive into our overview of the exam. So 150 minutes, 200 questions, +1 for every right and no negative marking, and therefore your attempts, we know, is going to be 200. Aarti, you'd need to reach out to the team, and these are the different sections that we encounter in the exam. And because it's a VARC session, let me dive into that. And this is what you typically get in VA and RC. So grammar is not exclusively limited to error identification, but that's usually a major chunk. There are times when they get into some sort of composition related questions. Grammar can also be tested using fill in the blanks, but that can also be thought of as an extension of error identification. So major chunk is error identification. So Sanjana, when you say important topics, you should expect 1 to 2 RC passages, right? So that is there. Then grammar questions, let's say around 10 odd, vocabulary based questions 10 to 15, fill in the blanks, another 8 to 10 questions, at times even para jumbles. So this is how those 50 questions are usually distributed in the exam. But then verbal ability also plays a role in reasoning. So you may find questions based on syllogisms, questions on critical reasoning, questions that test your understanding of logical connectives or conditional syllogism. So all those things are of course also there, right? Good afternoon, Nitin. And if anybody from the team is here, in case you are aware of the price, can you just help Aarti? Itisha, vocabulary based questions. So when we say vocabulary based questions, you would have synonyms, antonyms, idioms and phrases. So all of them are of course part of vocab based questions, no? So it is there. It's just that I did not go ahead and break the vocabulary based questions down into their separate categories. So let's start. There you go. Directions for the first 5. You're given a sentence, it is divided into 4 parts. If any of those 4 parts has a mistake, mark that as your answer. If you believe, on the other hand, that there is no error in the sentence, you'd go ahead and choose E, no error, as your answer. So starting with the first one on your screen, and your time starts now. So grammar question. In case you're still thinking, let me tell you that it is something that tests your understanding of tenses. So this is a big clue. When you see since or for, you know that you are dealing with a perfect continuous tense, but here the tense that is used is simple past. That is wrong, and that is why our answer here should be C. This should have been, since the recent improvements to the service, the buses have been running like clockwork. So whenever you're given a moment of start or the duration for an action which is ongoing, you're supposed to go ahead and use perfect continuous. So C it is. Some of us have picked up A. See, since is all right. You may have a temptation to use ever since, but then even if you use ever since, you still need to change ran into have run. Okay, recent improvements to the service. B is absolutely okay. So C is our answer. Instead of ran, have been running. It tested our understanding of the usage and syntax of tenses. Here is your next question. The time starting now. There you go. So this is more about your understanding of nouns. Now equipment is an uncountable noun. Okay, equipment is a bit like what do I say, furniture, luggage, baggage, machinery. You know, all of these are uncountable, which means that they cannot have a plural. So this S that is added to it, that's wrong. So the country is devoid of the sophisticated medical equipment necessary to collect samples and conduct COVID-19 tests. And that is why the answer here should be C. So the concept, uncountable nouns. Okay. This concept will also help you with subject-verb agreement, and therefore it becomes very important. Here is the next question. Devoid basically means absence of something, Harshit. So if you are devoid of emotions, then you have no emotions. There is absence of emotions in you. So lack of something, absence of something is devoid. All right, so this is Abhay, absolutely okay. That's correct. The answer is D. Come to think of it, what does this preposition around mean? I think you know that. Now, are you going to make a deep cut around someone's skin? Around, if you are conducting a surgery, won't you cut the skin? Why will you cut around the skin? You need to reach the inside, so you will cut into the patient's skin. And as you can see, the preposition in the concept involved is that of prepositions, an area which is very popular among the examiners when it comes to error identification. So instead of around, into. And the next one, here it is. Okay, so directions for questions 4 to 6. So the first 3 essentially tested your understanding of identifying a grammatical error in a particular type. Then there is this other question type that you can get where they give us a sentence with a part underlined, or it can also be, for that matter, printed in bold or italicized. Then they follow it up with 4 options. If you think that the underlined part is incorrect and one of those other parts is correct, fits into that sentence and makes it grammatically correct, then you choose one of those parts as your answer. Otherwise, you go ahead and mark E. So these can also at times be termed sentence improvement questions. So here you go. 4th question on your screen. Oops. So I don't have a timer because these are longer. I thought 30 seconds will be too less. So go ahead and share your thoughts. Okay, so here in this particular question, what should the correction be? What should be the correction? Okay, so let us say that we ordered a pizza. Your typical 6 slices. So if I take 1 slice, I have taken 1/6 of the pizza. But what if I take 2 slices? So they are 2 1/6. So now I have taken 2 1/6. So in short, you would say that I have taken 2/6 of the pizza. So it is not 2/6, 2/6. Similarly, it should not be 2/3, it should be 2/3. So C or D, more versus much. Much is used for uncountable, but we can very clearly see it is countable. We are pluralizing it. So much will be incorrect. And what does that leave you with? C, not more than 2/3. 2/3 of the members. So that, and since C is grammatically correct, we can rule out option E as well. So C it is. That should be chosen as our answer. Here is the next question. So what's your take? So is this he correct here, considering that, so at one place we are using he, at another we are using you. That's wrong. You know, we are supposed to be consistent in the use of pronouns, particularly indefinite pronouns. Okay, so this he is incorrect, and because we can only bring about a change in the underlined part, not the rest of the sentence, this he should be turned into you. So this is right, this is right, one will be wrong, so B and D are gone. Now let's see if A and C are both right. A says is. What is the subject here? Cheesecakes, plural. So because the subject is plural, we cannot use a singular verb. Is wrong, so A is also ruled out. Are the last thing, yeah, that works. So therefore our answer should be option C. So those of us who have chosen A, guys, subject verb agreement, plural subject. Okay, so C it is for question number 5. Here is the next one. So I think this is where you realize what we need here is an adverb to modify the verb improved. Now great is not an adverb, it is an adjective, therefore this is wrong. So great is gone. Greatly is an adverb, that can work. So B versus D. Organizations, array, we needed a possessive case, not a plural, therefore B is wrong. This on the other hand is alright, therefore answer is D, and I think most of you have actually managed to get this right, so that saves me some explanation. So from question number 7 onwards, you will find the directions on the page itself. So here is, so this is going to be a vocab question for you. Give me the most appropriate synonym of the given word. The word is travesty. Here are your options. Go ahead and give it a shot. Good afternoon, Mohan. How are you doing? Okay, so for question number 7, we are looking for a synonym. So what is travesty? Travesty is a distorted or an absurd representation of something. So if I say that this recent judgment is a travesty of justice, it means that it makes a mockery of justice. It is not justice. Okay, it's a distorted form of justice. And we are looking for a synonym. So the closest that we have to a mockery or an absurdity or a distortion is misrepresentation, and therefore we'll go ahead and choose C. Mishappening is an accident, any unfortunate event. Itinerary is a planned route or a planned or the plan of a journey. Rudeness, we know, equivocal. If a person is equivocal, then it means that we are not able to understand what that person is truly saying or communicating, which side that person is truly with. So for example, we say politicians have been known to provide equivocal answers to the questions asked by reporters. So that's equivocal for you. So none of these other words is in the same ballpark and therefore can be eliminated. The best answer is option C. And here is your next question. Most appropriate synonym for renegade. So renegade is somebody who goes back on his word, somebody who goes back on his promise, somebody who goes back or changes his alliances. So if we look for the closest word, it is going to be traitor. So the answer here should be D. Memorize, you already know. Introspect is to look within yourself to find answers. Overachiever, somebody who has achieved things beyond his age. And then you have precipitate. Precipitate is to cause something to happen suddenly or quickly. So for example, unforeseen circumstances can precipitate a budget crisis. So that's precipitate for you. So now that you know the meanings, traitor is once again somebody who changes his alliances, and therefore D. So question number 9, mind you, this time around I am asking you for the antonym, not the synonym. The first word is ill, in case the difference in the I and the L is not very visible in the font. All right, so question number 9, vexed. Vexed basically means problematic. Vexed would mean, so if I talk about a problem or an issue, vexed is something which is very difficult and is hotly debated, controversial, so that kinds. So can ill be an antonym? No. Anxious? No. Undisputed? This can be an answer. Hotly debated, remember, and undisputed is there is no debate. Impressed? No. Erudite? What is erudite? Erudite is somebody who has great knowledge. Okay, having or showing great knowledge. So once again, not exactly connected with vexed. So the best answer will be C. See, opposite of impressed is unimpressed. Does vexed carry that meaning of unimpressed? Okay, so here comes the next question. Give me the antonym of mull. Okay, so when you mull over something, it means that you think over that thing. Huh? So you think about something rather deeply and at length. So the antonym very clearly is A, ignore. Let's have a quick look at, so the answer should be A, ruin, the physical destruction of something, disintegration of something. Ponder is a synonym. To ponder is to think about something carefully. Weigh up, once again, when you carefully assess someone or something, then you weigh up, and then desiccate is to make something dry, to remove the moisture from something. For example, the heat and energy from the sun can desiccate even the most hardy plants. So A is going to be your answer. And with that, I haven't so far ventured into the reasoning side of the affairs, but right now I am willing to do that. So here is a question that you can encounter in the reasoning section, but it sort of depends on verbal reasoning. So I am testing you on this here. So question number 11 on your screen. Please give it a careful thought and then tell me what the answer should be. Okay, I am eating into a bit of the options, so whoa, Pratibha, that's quick. Somebody has studied logical connectives thoroughly, it seems, huh? Okay, E. So far I've got an A, I've got an E. So let's check. So first up, whenever is basically if. Okay, so whenever you see when, whenever, every time, just any time, just treat them as if. So first up, let's replace the whenever with if. So if I eat an ice cream, I get a cold. Now in logical connectives, what does if stand for? So if then gives us a cause and effect relationship. Okay, and what does this relationship stand for? If the cause is present, you definitely have the effect. And if the cause is not present, then if the cause is not present, then the effect will come or not. So for example, this, if I am poisoned, then I will die. So if I'm poisoned, I'll die. If I'm not poisoned, then will I not die? Will I be immortal? No. If I am poisoned, I'll definitely die. If I'm not poisoned, I may die, I may not die, because there can be other factors that can cause my death, my demise. So if the cause is not present, the effect may or may not be there. Okay. Now, if the effect is not seen, then it means that the stated cause was not present. If I'm not dead, then it means I was not poisoned, because had I been poisoned, I must have died. But if this effect is there, it could be because of this cause, it could be because of some other cause. So there are two pairs which are true. These two pairs lead to a definitive true answer, and then there are these other two pairs that lead to other two scenarios. I shouldn't even call them pairs, that lead to possibilities. So let us check first. if I never eat an ice cream, I will never get a cold. So what we are basically saying is, in the first, we are saying that negation of C implies negation of E. No cause implies no effect. But then this is not true. This is just a possibility. Look at this part here. It is not true. It is a possibility. It may be true, it may be false. So therefore, first can be ruled out. Second, eating an ice cream is one of the reasons for me to get a cold. Yup. I think if you look at these two cases, that makes it abundantly clear. So second is true. If I have a cold, I must have eaten an ice cream. So this basically says effect implies cause. But once again, if we look at our pairs, effect implies cause. That's a possibility. It is not a certainty. And therefore, even this can be ruled out. And thus, our answer should be A, second only. Kunal says too much classes. Okay, first up, much. Just a little while ago, we said that much is used with uncountable nouns, classes is countable. So the correct sentence will be too many classes. Number two, if there are too many classes happening, it means that you have a choice. You can choose to attend, you can choose to skip. On the other hand, if there are too few classes, you won't have a choice. You know, what if you wanted to attend a class but there isn't one happening? So I'd say if we have to err, from my perspective, if I have to go and offer a lot of classes or a few or very few classes, I'd rather offer a lot of classes, and then that gives you the choice, huh? Okay, so here is the next one. So please read this once. This is critical reasoning, and you will have the options on the next slide, but I'll have to reduce the font size. So I thought, why not at least give you a comfortable font size first. Please read this and I'll take you over to the question in 20 seconds. Okay, here are the options. So go ahead and tell me what you think. Acha, oh Kunal, I actually, although this class is live, there is a lag of around 12 to 15 seconds. Okay, when I say something here, it reaches you 15 seconds later, and then you type. By then some 20-25 seconds have happened, and I at times miss out on the context. If you were talking about that, then you are absolutely right. There can be. So cause implies effect. So if then is basically a relationship where you may have multiple causes, only one of those causes is stated. Yes. So notice which of the given options cannot be definitely inferred. A is a possibility, B is a possibility. They seem near impossible to achieve. So obviously that could have been the ideal thing. The professor was very fastidious. We don't know that. Group does not have faith in its ability to do well. We don't know. They were worried. So this is something that can in fact be inferred. They were worried. So this is something that can be, they were worried about their cumulative grade points. So it basically shows that they did not have faith in their ability. This is true. We are looking for what cannot be inferred. So I think the best answer choice here should be option C, as quite a few of you have pointed out. So that's about it for today. And once again, we have a crash course for Maharashtra CET that has a lot of attractive features at a very mouth-watering price. You can reach out to the team. You can in fact know more about it by clicking on the link that is shared as in the pinned comment. And if you have any questions, feel more than free to reach out to us and we would love to help you. I will take you through some more Maharashtra CET practice tomorrow at 12. But tomorrow I'll focus on fill in the blank. So Maharashtra CET offers a lot of different types of fill in the blank questions. I will take you through all of those in my session at 12, after which hopefully you would be very comfortable with at least the format of the exam. Difficult to please. Sakshi, fastidious is somebody who is difficult to please. Okay, so that's it from me today. Enjoy the rest of your day and I look forward to meeting you once again at 12 tomorrow with one specific topic of Maharashtra CET. Fill in the blanks that are vocabulary based or grammar based. All of them will be covered. All the different varieties will also be covered. So until then, take care. See you soon.